in the Union Square, let's go. I heard that we here in the Howard Square, let's go. I heard that we here in the Times Square, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hello and welcome to the MKH Podcast. I'm your host, Maximilian Hill, and today we have a very special guest. Carlos Estigarribia is a successful video game executive and serial entrepreneur based out of Lisbon, Portugal. Carlos, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks so much, man.
How are you today?
Doing great, doing great. You see, there is a sunny winter in Portugal, so yeah.
It's such a beautiful day, and I gotta say, I've been here for about a week now, and
Yep.
the architecture here is beautiful.
Amazing.
You walk around the city, and any angle you look is like a photo op. It's
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a beautiful city. Yeah,
Yes. Are you on Instagram?
yeah,
It's like a very Instagrammable city.
exactly, for sure.
Yes. So, but that's not the reason why we're here, right?
No.
The reason we're here is
Yeah.
you're a serial entrepreneur. You have a lot of experience in the video game and tech industry.
For
So
sure.
tell me a little bit about your current venture, and we'll talk about your
Okay.
previous
Good.
successes. But what are you up to these days?
Okay, now I'm the VP of client relationships for like OV, like entertainment, and what we are like a holding company, and we are helping like Latin American like studios because I come from like Latin America, like Brazilian. I'm Brazilian, and we are helping some of the companies there to like expand. So currently we have two companies in our portfolio. It's called Cool Games, is a Brazilian company. It's called Development Company, and the like OGs, which is a company from Cordoba, and they are like a studio that do like development, like programming. So, and we are like expanding their like business because there's a lot of opportunities like in the games industry. It's
Yes.
booming.
It is a booming industry.
Yeah, it's booming. It's and it's super fun. It's a fun industry to be in. I've been in this industry for, I don't know, 27 years now. So since I started, and it's a blast, man.
How did you? Now, I want you to think back to when you got started.
Well, I started right when I was out of college. So I did it's computer science, like engineering actually, computer engineering, but I didn't want to work in doing software for like banks or boring stuff. Let's say you say. So I was like with a partner like back then and say, hey, we like love like to play games, so why not start doing it? And back then it was 1996, like in Brazil there are just a few like studios and nobody was really talking like about it, but we decided, okay, let's do it because we think it's fun, we know how to code, so let's like use this to do stuff that we like. But then of course we have to find like the clients, everything. So it was like a process, like a whole process. But the reason first was, okay, we like it, like video games, we want to do it, but we have zero business sense, or we didn't have a
Business sense.
plan or anything.
It takes time to develop.
Yeah,
And
now
it's not
easier,
something.
but yeah.
I mean, some people think, well, I'm just going to go get my MBA, but that doesn't
Yeah.
guarantee anything.
Exactly. Now, in our case, you can imagine 1996, like Brazil, we didn't have any like incentive from the government. It was even hard to say, okay, I'm like working in this industry because people think it was gambling, not games, you know. So it was hard to like explain like to friends, hey, I'm doing games. Oh, you are doing like a casino stuff? No, video games.
Video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and we didn't have any how to get like some like knowledge from the video games industry. We like knew how to code, but we didn't know how to create like a game. There is no like internet back then.
Yeah.
So we have to find like information, going to some forums, like connecting via like modems to like
I
BBS.
remember. Yeah.
So it was really hard to do this kind of stuff back then, but we decided to do it like anyway. But the first step was, okay, how can we fund this? Because we weren't like rich people, we didn't have funds, so we say, okay, we have to find like like somebody that wants to do like a game that wants to hire us.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing. And then you say, okay, who would like to do this? Like video games we didn't have access to like publishers. We never travel like abroad to sell, but just for fun, but not to do business. So we have to say, let's start like local, because like in
Start
Rio,
small.
and like talking to people or reaching out to agencies, let's say, and that would want to do games for their clients, advertisement agencies. So advertising agencies, they say, hey, do you want to do like a game for your car like brand, or for this soda that you have here? Then so we have always to, from like day zero, like to pitch. So that's why I think that we have to say, okay, why do like games? So we have to like prove them, and now it's easier because people know like what a game is. But back then we have to show them that, okay, if you want to talk to this audience, like to kids, is back then, that's like a good way for you to reach out to this audience. So we spend like a lot of time like talking and showing them that, okay, if you do this, you can benefit from people going to your like website when it was starting. Still is 1996, the first websites were there. So that was, we have to pitch from day zero. Then we managed to get the first client, get the second one, but slowly. The process was super slow, super slow.
How did you stay positive and keep moving forward during the slow times? Because I'm sure there were times where you're discouraged.
Yeah, well, back then we were 22, 23, so our cost of like living was like low. So the first thing is, if you are like young, then if you don't want to have a fancy car or a nice apartment, you can still be living with your parents, or renting with other friends. So if your basic like cost is like low, then you say, okay, if I make like $1,000, that's fine. I like per month. So that's the first thing. You really have to, okay, let's not spend like a lot on the like personal side.
Yeah.
And then we managed to get like work that was like enough to pay for our own expenses.
So what advice would you give to a current college student, or even someone who's not a college student but wants to break into, because in America, college is very expensive, so a lot of people are priced out. But someone wants to break into the games industry. What advice would you give today?
Okay, I think that if you are, let's say, in your 16 or a 17-year-old, even if you are not like in the college yet, you can still do your own games, because that's the beauty of it. You don't have to be PhD at anything. So and you can do games since like I started coding my my games when I was 12. So and so you can start like doing it. You can use a platform such as Fortnite, Roblox. These are stuff that you can train there. You can make your game, and you can make money. Maybe you're not going to get $100,000 a month, but let's say if you get $500 and you are 15 years old, is enough money for you to spend a lot
walking around money,
at the grocery store and buy a lot of stuff. So today, what I would say is start doing games, not just reading like about it, playing, but because it's totally different, like to play or to like read or
create is different.
Create is totally different. Because then it's okay, this is a project. It has to finish. It has to end. It's not that I'm going to do this for 10 years. No. Then you set yourself, okay, I will do something in like 1 month. It's going to be a crappy game. It's maybe not, but at least you're going to feel okay. You have to think about like what's the narrative. You're going to know that, oh, I'm not good at drawing or like arts. You have to find like a partner, or you can get some free art from like internet. Today is easier. Then you do it, then you launch it and say, okay, how can I put this game in the market? Oh, it's just to publish, but nobody's coming to play. Okay, so you gotta figure out like the marketing. So it's important for you to try to do the whole thing, not just do it for yourself or to show to 2 or 3 friends. Put it out there. Take some heat from people, say, oh, this is crap, or oh, this is good, or
whenever you put yourself out there, you're opening yourself up for criticism. But
I think that's the only way.
That's the only way, and it's painful. But I think I've learned that if it's not painful, at least in some aspects,
Yeah.
it's probably not something that's worth doing, right?
If it's if it's easy but too easy, then it's no fun.
There's no growth.
So it's like a game. If the game is too easy, and nobody plays it.
What are the skills and character traits that you look for when you hire?
Well, depends on, of course, there are some technical skills, like if I'm hiring for a development role, we would have like to test if the person knows how to code in that language, if he's an artist, if the art style fits what we're looking at but usually what I always try to check is first if the person knows what we are doing, because some people come and they don't know what to do, and they say, oh, you do games, okay, but what kind of games is the company doing? So research a little bit. Very
common, because when I was starting out, I was just interested in the job. I wasn't really most interested in the companies that I was interviewing at. Things that you learn as you get older and further in your career, and if you can show interest, genuine interest, not feigned interest, because people can tell when you feign interest.
For sure, yeah.
So tell me, what do you do? What are you doing these days?
Okay, in terms of business or in terms of
whatever you want to talk about.
No, currently, is my role now is just on the business side. So it's been a long time since I was coding. I'm doing now this, but with my kids, because now I'm helping them to code, and they're getting good. They're better than me actually. But so now what I do is on the business side, and this is also something that what I felt when I started is that I could code, but somebody has to sell the company. So I say, okay, I can either hire a person or I can do it if I'm good enough, if I know how to do it. So I kind of shifted from doing the game to pitching. And what happens that I found that in the games industry, you can't find a lot of people who really know how to sell or like how to like sales, because some of the founders of those studios, they like games, they like to do games, but they hate to go on a conference and pitch themselves. So I thought, okay, this is stuff that I like, that I know how to do. So this is something that can set me apart from other people. And so since the past 15 or 20 years, I'm only doing sales. I started doing, as I mentioned, some coding, team management, but now it's just sales business. It's more business than sales, because sales is you think that okay, you're there pitching, but we what I do is basically business. So I'm talking to people, understanding if there's a need there. If they don't have anything, that's fine, but now they know me, and in 1 year maybe they will need what I do. So it's networking and building relationships. That's what is key for my role, it's relationships.
Tell me about networking, because I think there's a lot of bad information out there, bad advice about building a network. But I know in order to be successful in sales, you have to have a powerful network. So how did you build yours? What approach did you take? And because I know even if you're not in sales, you still need to have a network, professional network.
Of course,
For sure. So tell me about how you built your network and what advice you would give.
Okay. Well, what we did, and what I do still, is I try to go to events in the games industry. I know that now you can basically do everything online, but when you are there, really seeing people at your face is totally different, because then people are more open, and they share some stuff that they don't share over a Zoom call, because during calls, they are always saying, oh, okay, I have a call now, and then in 5 minutes, I have another call, or somebody interrupts. So it's for me, you can really get to know people when you are there sitting, talking, not about just business, but sharing and say, okay, I do this. And then if I'm always pitching, people are really not interested. But if you start to talk about, oh, I I work like in the games industry, this is a trend, but then I'm seeing stuff, oh, this guy knows something about games, and I'm always trying to give something back to the person, not just to get information,
Yeah.
but to help them.
Providing value.
Yeah. So, but this takes time. So that's the first thing that people think, okay, so I'm going to like attend like an event now, another in like March, and then no, this is the whole year, every day doing like networking.
Building trust.
Yeah, because and it takes time. Because if you go there, let's say if you go to like event in like March, then you know like a person, probably the person will like remember you, but like the next time, oh, that was that guy that spoke me about this and this and that. Then like the second time, oh, that's the same person. He is here on another like event, and you are building like trust, and you're adding more to your like pitch. Oh, he told me that they were doing like games for PlayStation. Now they are telling now he's telling me that they not only do this, but they also do that. And then you're selling like on small like chunks of like information every like event. So like usually it takes us, me at least, like 1 year, it's 2 years until that first contact that I was like chatting become like a client. But we always keep in touch. And it's not that I'm always calling if I need something. If I see that the person needs to hire a person, and like if I know
And
somebody,
if there's someone you'll recommend.
say, hey, let's connect.
Yeah, and
So,
that's one of
but
my.
it takes time.
Yes.
A lot of time.
Someone I look up to said every day, try to connect two people that could benefit from knowing each other.
Yeah, sure.
Because a lot of people think that the value of your network increases when you meet one person, but it increases exponentially when people in your network meet through you.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you do that every day for a year, right? I guess the quality of your network will be exponentially.
Yeah. And like one thing that you have to train, like how to mingle and how to network. So sometimes I say, if you are out of school now, out of college, or even if you want to like switch like a career, you are in the law firm, you are like a lawyer, and you want to now do stuff like in the games business, you have to start like attending like small events, introduce yourself.
And these days, I think, especially with COVID, after COVID, so many people are forced to change careers.
Yeah.
Right. And it's hard. We all have to learn on the fly.
Yeah. But then you have to go to your like local like event, even if it's not for your trade. Like if it's just like a mingle for tech people, and you go there, you just watch. Okay, that's the topic they are talking about, and then say, okay, they are talking a lot about this term. I never heard about it. Then you get back. Oh, okay, this is interesting, or oh, this is something that I was doing, but with like another name. Now there's a fancy word for what I was doing. It's 5 years ago, and then say, hey, I can also do this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to hear more than talking in those.
Listen.
Listen. Yeah, exactly.
Listen more than you speak.
Yeah, for me that's the key thing. Then people talking, okay, oh, this guy spoke that thing that is interesting. Let me process it. I'm not going to say a lot. I don't know a lot, so let's just listen, learn, and then in the next event, I can say more about it. So, but it takes time, Max. So
it does take time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that people have to be patient. have to have.
And
patience.
everybody, but no one has patience. That's the struggle. So I think it's a harder path, but you have to. The harder path yields greater rewards if you put in the work and you're patient and you stay on track. But also, you mentioned career changing. I think one of the things I've learned is when you change careers, you have to accept that you're starting, over, and that's okay, right? You just have to be patient. And, it is hard when everyone wants results yesterday.
But of course, and let's say even if you are like a senior director at this industry, if you're like shifting to a totally like different, you will have to go down the ladder a few steps, and then you have to say, okay, I'm not going to be the VP of this. I have to get back to being like a manager, like to learn. But you will grow faster because you already have all of your like learnings from previous industry, but you have to be okay. I'm not going to move and then I'm going to be the vice president of the
Exactly.
another industry. No, you step back, learn, be humble, learn.
Yes, be humble. And so I have a question about, let's think about the gaming industry. Think back to your many years of experience and how it's progressed. Where do you see the gaming industry going? What do you think it will look like 5 to 10 years from now?
Okay, well, in this past 25 years, what we saw is that games is now something that like everybody plays. So it's back then in 90s, in the 80s, 90s, was more like, oh, only like the kids play it, or like rich kids that could have access to like a console or stuff like this. Now it's like everywhere. Even people who claim they never play it, but then you mention, oh, did you play something like on your cell phone? Oh yeah, sure, I played every day. So you are a player, but they don't consider themselves as a player. So what I'm seeing now is basically two things. First, like the games are now into not just games. It's becoming something that is bigger. You're now seeing a lot of TV shows based on like video games. So it's a transmedia that we call it. So it's like an industry that is opening up. So, and that's good because let's say if you are not from the games industry, but you know how to do film or like animation for a TV, then you may be like working with like an IP that comes from a game, and now it's going to become a TV show. So it will open for even like more people to be part of this industry. So I think, so if people are trying to shift like a career, say, oh, okay, I'm working in the like music industry and I want to work in games. Well, there's a lot of opportunities. You can like create like the soundtracks, like licensed artists. So for every industry now, games is starting to tackle.
But what I want to know is, how do you see? I'm not talking about the people side.
Okay.
I want to know, how do you see the product side?
Okay.
The evolution of the gaming industry.
Okay.
Where do you see that heading?
I think it's heading towards the players like creating their own, not games, but creating like some content for the games they are playing. So I feel that like usually you have like the studio, like the publisher, they do the product, like they have it out there, and then they are like releasing new sequels, DLCs, or new outfits. Now it's like shifting to, okay, the game is like a platform for the players to create stuff there. Okay. So it's a player-centric, more player-centric. Yeah, the creative like economy for the player. And then you can see this on Fortnite. A lot of people are like creating their own like Fortnite games. Like Roblox is a good example. It's not like a game. It's like a platform that people can easily create games. And then it's interesting because maybe you say, okay, this is a crappy game. Why are people playing this? Well, because the like a 15-year-old kid wants to play this kind of game, not what we adults or we are the execs in the game industry. No, they want to play like something else, and now they can use this as a tool to like express themselves and to create games. So I feel that the market is going towards this. Like, of course, you always have the like AAA games, but there's a new market for people who just want to like create the like prosumer, like the professional consumer. So
you've enjoyed some success selling a couple companies. Tell me about what that process was like.
Okay. Well, my first company I founded in 1996, and then we had to do some pivots like every 3 years, let's say, because like in the games industry, there's another thing. Every 3 or 4 years, something changes. Let's say it could be a business model, but changes could be from premium games that you pay for the game to the game is free, but you pay for like access or to buy stuff. Could be from like PC. Everybody was playing like a PC. Then it's mobile. So things change like a lot. And then if you have your own like studio, and we are doing like services, so we have to always think about, okay, what's the next trend, so that we could be there. Because if you just keep doing the same style of game or the same technology,
You fall behind.
in 5 years, nobody would hire you, because you like what you know is not like useful. So we have to pivot like every other. So like we started doing games for CD-ROM, like the old, like you have to put the game into like
Yeah,
CD.
yeah.
Then is web games. Then
Mobile.
is mobile, but a text-based mobile. So
Text-based.
it's SMS games. You're just sending messages. Then Java games, like for feature phones, like a Nokia, Siemens phones. So, and then like iPhone. So it was changing every other year almost.
Yeah.
And then one of the clients that we have, he wanted us to just do business for him. So okay, you guys, I don't want you guys doing for other publishers. I want you to be my studio to do games for me only, for like them only. And I say okay, then he bought us. It was kind of how can the term is acquihire, is because they say, okay, we have a team of 30 people is back then, and he like needed us to help him to deliver like faster, and say, okay, you guys have a team of 5 people like working like for him, but he needed more. Say, okay, it's better, instead of is giving you is more jobs, to like get the whole studio. And for us, what we thought was, okay, we are now doing fine, but we know there's a new wave coming. There's something coming in the next year, and it was like iPhone.
Mhm.
And we feel that, okay, like iPhone was out there, I think 2000, I don't know, 5 or 6, but we knew they are going to have the App Store is
Yeah.
coming soon. Say, okay, we're having to learn a new technology in 1 year.
Yeah.
So we can either not sell, or we know for the next year we have to shift everything for the 10th time.
Yeah.
Okay, let's sell the company, but now and make some profit while we are like on the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we sold it, and then I have to like visit all of the clients to say, hey, now we are owned by this publisher, so we won't be able to do business with you anymore. So I could have just sent them like an email, say, hey, we cannot do, but like I decided to go like on a road show, meeting them, and then have more, I don't know, 15 clients. So I was in like traveling, like in Canada, like US, Europe, say, hey, we are now part of this holding of this other publisher. We cannot like do business. We are going to, of course, like close what we're doing now, but the next project, unfortunately, we won't be able to do it. And I told all of them. And like one of them told me, hey, I would love to have bought your company, but I didn't know that you were selling. I said, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And then he told me, okay, and he said it, yeah, sure. Then I like went back to the company that had bought me and say, hey, if you want to have a quick like exit, there's this other publisher that is much bigger, but than you. They have much more money, and they were also interested in us, but I didn't know. So if you want, you can sell us this division like to them. Of course, we are going to make money like as well. And the guy say, well, this is crazy, but yeah, why not? And then he sold us to this other company.
Okay.
So, and this all happened in 6 months.
It moves quick.
Yeah.
What?
So just to show that when the market is really like going well, those kind of things, and then like 1 year like later, all of the other companies that could have also been like sold, they were out of business because, as I mentioned, like iPhone came and they have to shift, but not all.
Not
of them.
everyone can make the shift.
Yeah, so we were
That's
super
why-
smart or seasoned to say, okay, now's the right time to sell.
Now's the time to sell.
Yeah,
Because you have to do, I think, an honest forecast of
yeah,
an honest self-assessment of your team,
exactly. Yeah.
what skills you guys
Mhm.
have. Will you be able to thrive, with all the changes?
Yeah. So
Tricky. So what have you learned about entrepreneurship? And what would you say to anyone who was interested in making the jump from employment to
Okay, the first thing
entrepreneurship?
is that is super hard, but I think that's everybody talks about.
Understood.
But the thing is that some people they decide to be like entrepreneurs because they are like unemployed. So okay, I'm going to do something while I can't find like another job, but it's a full-time like a commitment. So if you are trying to set up like a company because you don't have like any other offer, but you are always trying to be hired by another company, so then you will fail, I guess, on like both sides, because you are not doing this because you feel the like urge or the passion to be there, putting like a lot of hours.
Yeah.
And you are doing this while you are like searching for the next job.
Yeah.
So it is not the same. So, and this is why sometimes when you choose like a partner, like a business partner, you have to really be
Tell me
sure
about
that
that
the
process.
person.
How do you make decisions about who
Well,
you partner with?
In my case, it was like luck. I had like a business partner who was great. So we were like friends, like from college, and we are really good like together. But if I was doing if I'm doing like a new company now, you have to see what's the stage of the life of each of the partners, because like let's say if they are richer, much richer, but than you, and like for them it's just something to kill some time, but you have to pay your bills. You have, so it's not you have to be, I guess, on the same like level. If not, they will say, okay, I don't want to do this business because I don't like the client. Yeah, but I like, and we need to do it. So you have to have people that are that share the same like mentality, and that are, I think, on the same like stage in life.
Talk about the mentality of business.
Oh man, it's always pitching. That's what I talk about. You are pitching on every. So you say hi, you are pitching. It's not that okay. I'm doing some like other stuff, and then no. And it's really a focus on, okay, I have to sell. I have to do like the connections, the networking, but knowing that the like end goal is to make money, because some of the companies and like studios, like in the games industry, they fail because they want to do games. They don't want to build like a studio, and it's totally different. So you want to do like your game, or like your baby there, the game that you like, but it's different from running a studio and taking hard decisions.
It's very hard to build a game that sells itself, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of engineers don't like salespeople.
Yeah.
But only really the iPhone, right? The iPhone sells itself. The internet sells itself.
Yeah.
Everything, every other product needs to be sold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I can tell is this, man, that if you are in the like business side, you have to be thinking about how to make money the whole day. It's not that, oh, I want to build up. No, okay, you are like having some crazy like ideas, but okay, what's the outcome? You have to be the bad guy there when people are okay, let's do it. Okay, but is it going to like make money? Is there like a market for this, or we just like this thing like so much that we believe everybody will also like it?
When you're evaluating a game, right? What's your process to say, okay, I think there's a market demand for this?
You mean if somebody comes with a project, pitch? Okay, well, the first thing is I would see, okay, did they do some research on what's the market size for this game? Because you can say, okay, our industry is $120 billion. Okay, but for which platform, which style of game? So they have to show that at least they know that, okay, this game is similar to that one, and but that one at least two or two other games, and those games made X million dollars or $500,000. So you know what's the like potential like outcome if you do something similar to games that were like successful. Then is the team, if they really know how to build this, because they can come up with a lot of crazy stuff, but okay, who are the founders there? They have some secret like weapon there that, oh, we are doing like a game that is combat based, and we have like a guy here that like already like worked for Capcom on Street Fighter. I don't know. So he knows how to do a good combat game.
Yes.
Because if not, people like assume that, oh, I love playing like Street Fighter and I will do the same. No.
Yeah.
So I look for first like for the market, but at the same time for the team, because maybe you say, okay, they are good, but they are pitching something that doesn't have like a market. Then we can help them to find the market for their game, or say, okay, you are doing this art style that you like, but nobody's buying game with this art style, or people are asking for this other like art style. Are you willing to like change?
Yeah.
Because then we know there's a market for it. So basically, those are the two things, as like market and the team and the product, of course. But I feel that if you don't have people, if you don't see that those people can really do what they're like aiming, there's no point, because you make money and you like put money there, but they won't be able to finish at the game, or it's not what they are thinking.
Are there any books or podcasts that you have read or listened to that you would recommend?
Yes, for sure. For the games industry, there are two that I always tell people when they say, okay, I want to know more about games, or if they are like shifting from like careers. One is the construction of fun. It's a really good one. So, and they have like a weekly like edition where they talk about like what is happening. So then you can learn, oh, there's a new game, but from the business side, not how do you do games, or how do you market the game, how to sell. So it's business. And there's another one that is the NAVIQ, NAAVIQ, this podcast. They are like consultants like for the games industry, and they also talk a lot about the like business model, like what is happening. So those two are really good if you want to learn more about like what is happening, to also know, also like to listen to some people that say, okay, this is how I tackle this like situation, this is how we managed to like scale for this game, these are the issues that we found. So I think that if you are like willing like to jump into this industry, I would just sign up and listen to like the last like 20 episodes of each.
Podcasts are a great way to get up to
I think that's one of the best ways now, frankly.
And you could do it passively, because you could do it on,
Yeah,
in the privacy of your own home.
Driving, walking,
Right,
running,
yeah.
exactly. And if you are Brazilians or like Portuguese, then I have my me and two other friends, we also host like a podcast that speaks about just like the like business part of the games industry, but it's in Portuguese.
Tell me about
because
your experience podcasting. How has that been?
It's super interesting, because we have to first we decided, okay, what we would like to just talk about, because there's a lot of others that are talking about how to make games, or is this game good or not, but we want to talk about how to sell games, how to market games, how to build your business development like a career. So we said, okay, let's focus on business. So that's the first thing. And then we say, okay, let's do it like in Portuguese to help the like Brazilians, because a lot of people there, they don't speak English like well.
Yeah.
So, and then we invited other like Brazilians to talk about how they build business, how hard it is, or to talk about like some topics about games, but in Portuguese. And it was good because first we managed to meet a lot of people that maybe I wouldn't meet, but they say, hey, I'm a podcaster.
Yes.
So that way that you reach out to
one of the best things about podcasting
is networking. It helps in
is I've met so many interesting people.
Yeah.
That I otherwise would have no reason to meet.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if there's anyone out there who's looking at a build, I always tell them, start a podcast.
Yeah.
And then that's usually when they say, oh my God, I can't start a podcast. I was like, yes, you can. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's going to turn into the Joe Rogan podcast,
No,
right?
no.
But it doesn't have to be, right? It's just putting yourself out there, meeting people.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun for me.
For me, it's great, and also because it forces me to know more about like each of the people that you're talking to. So it's a way for me to also like study like some fields like in the games industry that like otherwise I wouldn't be, because let's say and now I'm totally focused on a console and a PC,
Yes.
and on the business side, on my business. But I still want to know what is happening on mobile, like web, Roblox, like Web3. But if I'm not forced to do it, so now that we have like this podcast, okay, I want to talk about this subject and I have to learn about it.
Yeah.
So it's a way to be.
It's a way to put yourself out there, but it's also a way to build trust.
Yeah, for sure.
Because sales, and sales is about trust.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, exactly.
And if you have a podcast, right, and you're promoting that on your LinkedIn profile or Instagram or TikTok, whatever platform, prospects who are maybe curious about working with you, they can watch that, right?
Exactly.
From the comfort of their own home.
Yeah.
Without you knowing that they're doing the research on it.
And then they call you and say, "Oh, I listened, or I watched."
Yes.
Wow, really? Okay.
And even if you're just starting out, maybe you're not ready to go full-blown entrepreneurship or sales. Even if you're just looking for a job, right? Start a podcast where you talk about what's going on in the industry that you're trying to break into.
Yeah.
I know it's not for everyone, because a lot of people don't like putting themselves out there. Fear of judgment. But it's also public speaking, right?
Yeah.
Even if you don't have a live audience, when you put it out there online, you're going to have an audience.
Exactly.
And
it's training. Yeah, it's training for when you really have to speak for like a large audience or to like pitch something. You already did it. So yeah.
Podcasting has been a lot of fun.
I recommend it. Totally.
So you speak Brazilian?
Yeah, we speak in Portuguese, like Brazilian Portuguese. So people here can also, of course, like understand. But for the next season, we are thinking about shifting to English, so that it's a way to also give more exposure to the Brazilian companies for like international audience.
Your English is very good.
Oh, thanks.
Very strong.
I have to use it every day. So yeah. So for us, it's also a way to give back, because we have been working in this industry. So if we manage to use this as like a channel for the newcomers, like in Brazil, to be easier for them to reach some like prospects, clients, then I say, okay, I'm super happy that I'm helping the local community, either here, like in Portugal, or there in Brazil. So it's.
Have you ever been in New York?
Several times, yeah.
It's a great city, right?
It's my favorite city, man.
It's the best.
Yeah, I really love New York. Yeah.
You go to the city and you walk down the street and you can hear French, you can hear Portuguese, you can hear Spanish, Chinese, all in the span of 2 blocks.
Yeah. It's a pity that the games industry there is not big. It's more in like West Coast. You can find a lot of studios in New York. You can find some studios, but not that much. And there's only one like event, but it's not huge. So
but now I would say though, we're moving away from geographic importance, right? Because I know gaming companies that hire people from all over the world, right?
No, sure.
Yeah. So, but I understand what you're saying.
I would love to
traditionally
have like an excuse, like a business excuse to go there. Say, okay, there's an event there. I have to go to New York just as a business excuse. Just for fun for now.
I've really enjoyed Portugal. It's a great city.
It's an amazing country. If you can stay here like years, and it's because you can find all kinds of stuff. Like you have like the seaside, you have like the mountains, snow if you go like to the north, or to the south. There are beaches are beautiful. So there's a lot of things for you to come here often, and so really glad that you are enjoying this lovely weather. It's really good. Like last year it's colder now it's cold, but it's not that cold as it used to be.
What were your favorite video games growing up as a player?
Okay, that's a good. The franchise that I played the most is like Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed.
I played all of them, and like I can't wait for the next one. It's going to launch in March, so I'm waiting for it to come. It's God of War. I love this franchise as well, and some games that a lot of people they don't know, but I know it's ICO. It's an old game from PS2, like a Japanese game that I like love it, and the other ones from the same like developer, which is Shadow of the Colossus and Last Guardian. So these are kind of games that are not super famous, but I really love them. The way they tell like a story. I'm more into like single player gaming.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I like games like for the narrative and to really get into
storytelling is so such a valuable
much
skill
better than some TV shows. So, okay, I'm not like wasting time seeing the same show or the same style, but games they manage to get some other angles in like narrative, you know. So for me, it's amazing to me.
So Carlos, if someone wanted to learn more about you and the company that you're with right now, where should they go?
LinkedIn, just hit me there, hit me up there. Because then, and from there we can always schedule like a call or exchanging emails. And if anybody sees me on events, just come and say hi. I'm super friendly.
Yes, you are very friendly.
Yeah, so just
Carlos, thank you for coming on the
thanks so
podcast.
much, man. Yeah,
really appreciate it, and wishing you continued success.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I heard that we hitting that 42nd, let's go. I heard that we hitting that 34th, let's go. I heard that we hitting that 14th, let's go, let's go.